Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Key Opinion Leader interview right here at Paris Blockchain Week. This is 2025 and we have the honor of sitting with most intriguing people, people who shape the crypto space, people who know exactly what's going on and what's coming, which is the most important part of it. Right now, I'm sitting with
Stefania.
Kindly named Steffi.
Steffi.
Okay,
Yeah.
but her name is Stefania.
Yes.
Okay. Stefania is currently working on a new project. We want all the information, so we've thought, let's sit down with her. Let's have a talk with her and see where this goes. Stefania, welcome, Bitcoin Magazine Netherlands. And tell us, your new project in the UK, why should we be interested?
Right, first of all, thank you so much for having me on the show. I remember when we met in Amsterdam last year, at the Bitcoin Amsterdam, obviously.
Feels like many years ago.
Yeah, many years ago, because it looks like it's been ages. I mean, we were all happy and excited about the Bitcoin ETFs. Bitcoin prices was great, and now we have kind of like a pullback, but
yes,
everything is going in the right direction. So we never had much more support from the institutions and endorsement as well of our industry. So I'm really excited. First of all, I've been in the space for quite some time. So I run a PR investor relation agency that work with some of the leaders in the space. For example, we work with the Hive Digital Technologies, a Bitcoin miner and AI data center builder listed on NASDAQ. And then we also do different type of work to kind of like evangelize about crypto and specifically Bitcoin. And that's where the new project come in. So probably everybody knows about Michael Saylor, yes, and Strategy, yes, right? Former MicroStrategy. They were the first public listed company in 2020 yes, to put Bitcoin on the balance sheet. And since then, there has been many other public listed companies, not just from the US, but also from Asia, Metaplanet. We saw exactly adopting the same strategy, and we saw, I think it was like end of March, there was also a French company yes, that adopted this new strategy to preserve, I would say, the capital, differentiate their treasury, but also, in a way, it's also creating value for shareholders with this strategy. And I'm sitting in London, right? And I'm thinking like, what the hell? There are no public listed company in London that talk about adding Bitcoin on the balance sheet.
So you changed that?
Well, I'm changing it. And I think one of the difficulties is obviously the way that the regulators has been looking at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin in the US is treated as a commodity, so it's easier to put Bitcoin on your balance sheet as a private company, but also as a public company. When it comes down to the UK, it's not so easy because the FCA is a little bit stringent. They have got AML and KYCs, all over. And the other aspect is also, being brutally honest, they are not so well educated about the space. And they still see, they still see Bitcoin, mainly crypto, as like a very speculative space, assets. And obviously, even though the US is much more proactive towards regulation, I think they are taking a much more cautious approach. Like in a way also Europe is doing, right? They are focusing on the digital euro or stable coins, but when it comes down to Bitcoin, I think they are still, a little bit cautious, and that's why maybe as a result, public listed companies are a little bit, there is a delay in the adoption, and that's what I want to change.
Yes, very good. Now, change is not easy.
Yeah.
We all know that. And in the space, change is very hard. But like you said, we met a year ago, we're a year later, and there's been a lot of change. Not only that, there's been a lot of fluctuation, there's a lot of volatility, there's a lot of issues, there's a lot of scams. So all of that have helped adoption and also brought us back sometimes from the adoption. So how are you planning to react to the market as you keep pushing for this new change in the UK?
So first of all, education. So what I'm doing, I'm meeting regulators, I'm meeting companies as well, and I'm telling them about why they should look at Bitcoin, right? And then obviously having this Bitcoin strategy is not something easy, right? Okay, I want to do it, let's do it tomorrow, I buy Bitcoin. It's not like that. that, because as a public listed company, as anybody interested in getting exposure to Bitcoin, you need to have a strategy. You need to have service provider, so exchanges, custody, insurance as well, on and off ramp, banking. You need to have all these service provider lineup that you trust, and they have got all the they have the ability to provide you that service. So they might need to be FCA regulated and all these type of things. So I think one aspect very important is about doing research and educate these people. Then when you have got somebody interested, then what you do, you make sure that you have a solution for them. So, okay, I want to do it, who I need to implement this strategy. So then I can go there, right, you need these are the people that you can talk to. So provide them like a book that they can look into, and you know, eventually it's not down to me, is down obviously to the public listed company, but also to the shareholders, because eventually they will have to vote if there is a strategy they want to adopt.
Now, as you keep moving forward, what are the struggles that you foresee? What do you think is going to be one of your biggest hurdles? And how are you planning to get over it so it doesn't stop you?
I think education is the main things that I will have to do, and talking to people that might not be so, you know, proactive. I think, you know, I had a few conversations, and all the time FTX come up, right? Yeah. So that I think people are still kind of like, oh, you know, not so much. They don't want to go all in it until there is the right regulation in place. And we have to remember that regulation is not yet lined up.
Yes.
There is no footprint yet. Even in the US, you know, we are doing different registration, stablecoin, then there is market structure, then there is that. But it's different. You know, public markets are regulated. It's been regulated for a long time, and that's what has allowed to build the liquidity. But regulated crypto market is not so, you know, it's not well established. Yeah. So I think the main struggle, I would say, is actually getting people on board to see Bitcoin as not a speculative asset, but as an asset class that needs more attention.
And besides the educational part, which you're probably going to work on, is there another aspect that you feel as if, hey, this also has to be conquered before we move forward?
I think it's about building trusted relationships that then you can suggest to your contact, the people that you want on board, and that's not easy. You know, we saw with, it's kind of similar, right? Everybody trusted FTX, right?
Exactly.
And then, you know, maybe, I don't want to mention name here, but, you know, there are many exchanges, there are many, you know, custody solution, and you want to make sure that whoever is the partner that you introduce to is somebody trusted.
And not only that, and this is something I've told many people, adoption is synonymous with trust.
Yeah.
As long as we have so much volatility, we have so much rug pulls, scams, and all of these bad actors, which we say in the space, it will keep working against us.
Yeah.
Now, in the UK, you are working towards eliminating all of this. Where do you want to get? What is the perfect balance for you between crypto and the UK and your project?
I think I want to have a proactive environment that is not just talks, because I think the UK, no, it's not I think, the UK government has been talking about crypto as right, we want to be at the forefront of crypto innovation, we are embracing the industry. They said that many, many times. But then what has been done? Look at the US, in just, you know, since January, look at how much they have done.
Yes.
And I think this is what I would like to get. It's not just about engagement with the industry. So for over 2 years, I've been doing events where I was getting together founders, regulators, investors, to kind of like talk about the industry. And there were many people from, you know, the regulatory body and the government as well coming to my events and talk about, you know, this amazing new opportunity. But then there was no execution, which instead you see execution coming from the US. So that what I want to happen is not just about industry engagement. I actually would like to see adoption. I would like to see a path.
Yeah.
I would like to see action. And I'm an action person. You know, I like when things are done. So that's what I'm hoping to get. So planning to get many publicly listed companies interested in the space. They don't need to be a crypto company, or they can be a healthcare company, they can be, you know, fintech company. Obviously a company that has got generate cash, so it's got cash on the balance sheet. You know, it might be difficult to go to an oil and gas company that is raising money from shareholder to drill to say, hey, we are raising money to invest Bitcoin. Maybe you could, because, you know, there are convertible loans that you can do in different ways. But I think, you know, not all public listed companies should do that, but for certain, it could be an option.
Wonderful. So we just had an amazing talk with Stefania. We are going to obviously write an article about it that you'll be able to find the link in this video as well. And we would like to thank you. We will keep bringing you videos from Paris Blockchain Week. Keep watching them, keep liking them, keep sharing them. And I'm fairly certain a year from now we're going to sit down and talk again.
Hopefully in Amsterdam.
Hopefully in Amsterdam.
Smiling. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you for watching.